My role is to basically make sure we got all the parts and pieces in place to go racing, first of all, and try and keep that within a budget, obviously. And I do a lot of, research. I watch a lot of video of previous races and look at a lot of data from previous races to see where we can improve and do better for the next race. Kind of sit in with the drivers and engineers. I look a lot more at the fuel mileage and where that's going to put us in a new pit window and things like that. And also kind of have a little bit of contact with the driver and engineer to make sure we're kind of all on the same path and somebody isn't going in a direction that it seems we're getting carried away, and try and rein them back in at times. Well, I mean, we're fortunate to be, we got good people working on the team, and it all starts with the people. If you don't have good people, then you're only as good as your weakest link. So, I mean, it's best to surround yourself with good people, and Chip provides us with what we need to go racing. But, we're very self-sufficient as well. I mean, we do have IndyCar and NASCAR programs, but they really don't tie into what we do. And so like I say, we're pretty self-sufficient. There's only 10 of us, and we do pretty well with what we've had. But I look at it a little different than most people, I guess, is that I think going into this year, we had won, 35% of the races we had entered. But to me, that means we lost 65% of them. So we still lost more than we've won. So it's not as dominant as what I hear people say. So I look at it from the other side. The biggest part is really just seeing how everything can fit into a budget, and also even like our travel. I mean, we're probably one of the few teams that drive to all the races instead of fly, but that saves us probably about $80,000 a year, so that can go into the race car. So it's prioritizing where you put your money, I guess. Actually, Felix got us onto this Sprinter van, and it's got a satellite TV, and it's actually it's a really nice. It's making a lot of buzz in the paddock. Actually, I think a lot of teams are looking at it now, so that's kind of cool. And it's actually been kind of cool watching, how when Memo came in and how he's developed. And like at first, he's a little very, very timid and more of just didn't have a lot of input and was actually a little bit timid on having too much input. And now we can take his information. His driving style and Scott's are similar enough where we can trust what he's saying is going to work for Scott, and vice versa, what Scott's saying is going to work for him as well. So we also got an open concept as well. I mean, we'll take advice from the truck driver, the gearbox guy. I mean, there's nobody that's not listened to. I mean, you'll take input from everyone because, you can't figure it all out yourself. If there's problems that a lot of people need to look at and find an answer to, I mean, I got to be involved in that just because ultimately the end of the decision is mine and the responsibility is mine. So somebody's got to be accountable for that. So if there's any question on what we're going to be doing, it's got to come down to I got to agree that that's the right thing that we're going to do. Yeah, I try not to get my hands dirty too much anymore, but yeah, there's times you dig in there and you want to resolve the problem just like anybody else. I mean, I don't micromanage, so they do their job quite well. But when it comes to a problem, and like I say, when there's a final decision needs to be made on what we're going to do, whether we're going to change that engine or we're going to fix the problem, it ultimately comes down to me. I get more stressed whenever I'm away from the racetrack than when I'm at the racetrack because I think too much about other stuff. So once the race gets going, obviously, or for me, the stress kind of goes away because that's what I love to do. So it's the time in between then that's stressful for me because I just can't wait to get back at it.